This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Mid-Michigan Medical Center. I have Steve Hann and Jada Olson, and they're both from the radiology department. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nancy.
So we have pink ribbons everywhere and we see them around town. My granddaughter's volleyball team wore pink t-shirts, and I go to Mayo and Fairview schools and they're all wearing pink t-shirts. Obviously, breast cancer awareness is out there everywhere.
Yes.
And I know at Mid-Michigan Medical Center we have a wonderful department that makes sure that all of the issues and all the treatment and cures and everything that's out there is available to the people in our community.
Absolutely, and this is not only this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so the month of October we celebrate breast cancer awareness. So hence the pink ribbons and the emphasis on pink. So October is a really exciting month for us every year. Just because of the level of service and the things we can offer our patients, and to get that awareness out there. So it is really exciting.
So what are the benefits of getting a mammography and getting breast imaging done?
So one of the things about mammography is, there's been numerous studies that have proven, over time that annual screenings with mammography reduce cancer deaths in women over 40 by over 30%.
Wow.
So it's a staggering statistic, and it's such an important thing to do. Those annual screenings make such a big impact in the longevity and the quality of life for so many women. So it's one of our one of those things that we get behind so much because it does make such a big difference.
Now, Jada, you hear different things from different doctors. If you have a family history, if you don't, when should women start getting breast imaging?
Women should start at age of 40.
Okay.
Unless they have a high risk or a high family history.
Okay.
Some women start a little younger than 40.
Okay. My next question is, what does Mid-Michigan currently offer for breast imaging, and are there any new advancements coming out? I know there are.
Yeah, absolutely there are. Yeah, so currently we offer two-dimensional mammography, which is, it's basically, if we look at mammography, that's the standard mammogram, that we've come to know for years and years. We also offer breast ultrasound, breast MRI, ultrasound-guided breast biopsy, and stereotactic biopsy. Upcoming in 2019, we've just recently closed a deal with General Electric. We're going to be installing two new Pristina 3D
wow.
mammography units. Yeah, so it's really exciting in the department right now.
So you got some training coming up.
We have training. Yeah, we have we have a lot of benefits we can look to our partners in Midland for. 3D mammography is a offering that they have very extensively system-wide. So we were really lucky we had a lot of support from our community to make this project happen. So we're really excited.
So what are the benefits of 3D mammography?
So one of the big things with 3D mammography is that we can take essentially a three-dimensional image of the breast. And when we look at, it's kind of like looking at a book. When you can see the front or the top and the bottom of the book, but you're not able to open it up and see it page by page. And that's what 3D can do. It can allow us to take an image of the breast and then look at it like a book, page
wow.
by page, and we can break it down into small slices, and it allows us to see those things so much more definitively. When we look at breast densities particularly, the overlapping tissue can kind of hide
sure.
cancer sometimes. The 3D mammography, that solution can really make a big difference in getting that definition down, identifying those cancers earlier, and reducing the number of false positive findings. So it's a really exciting technology.
Will it be a different experience for a female having the mammography?
No, the experience isn't any different from the standard mammogram that they've come to know.
Okay, good. I mean, everyone talks about it and they dread it, but to me it's simple and easy, and it's something that I wouldn't even think of missing ever, having it done.
It's a very important test.
What other programs are available through Mid-Michigan Medical Center for Breast Health?
So we have, one of the big things is we're working on is the breast cancer risk assessment. So if you go to the website, and you can go to midmichigan.org,
right.
and under care and treatment, it takes about 5 minutes. It's a breast cancer risk assessment, and we're really encouraging anyone who hasn't yet to go ahead and go online and take that. It helps to identify women that are at higher risk. women that have been identified at higher risk will be consulted with our Breast Navigator. And one of the big things with the Breast Navigator is they can help to make sure that they're on course for the appropriate screening and prevention and things like that. So and in the month of October, if you go on, any woman that goes on and does the breast cancer risk assessment in the month of October will be put into a drawing for a free pink Fitbit. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jada, as we spoke before we started taping, early detection is the key.
Correct.
And so,
Absolutely.
and so is there anything out there, this is a personal question, not on your list of questions,
Yeah.
someone who doesn't have insurance and can't afford a mammogram, are there ways for them to be able to get a mammogram?
There are. Mid-Michigan offers free mammograms to patients that don't have insurance or
Okay.
have limited insurance coverage all year long.
Okay.
I function as a breast coordinator as
Okay.
well in the department. Patients can reach out to me at 356-7512.
Okay.
And I work real closely with District Health Department number 4.
Okay.
They have a wonderful program, the Breast and Cervical Control Program. It offers a comprehensive coverage of services for women. So I try to refer patients to their program.
Okay.
If they don't qualify, then I can set them up with the MAM subsidy fund we have in Alpena and
Okay.
to receive a free mammogram.
Awesome. And you know, a cancer diagnosis is devastating for you, your family, your friends, everyone that's in your circle.
Absolutely.
But women do not have to go it alone.
Absolutely. You know, that is such an important piece. You know, we're on the imaging side, so you know we look at it and try to detect things as soon as possible. But we also follow with so many patients that have already been diagnosed, and so we work so closely with our partners, particularly in the Cancer Center. And one of the big things that we're working on is our Breast Navigator program. The Breast Navigator program helps to facilitate so many things for women as they're going through this journey, and it really is it's such an important piece for us to be able to make sure that we can assist and help at every opportunity we can.
Okay. Jada, will you give me the phone number one more time again for reaching you?
356-7512.
Okay, we are out of time. I want to thank both of you very much for being here. Thank you for the education, letting people know that there's help out there, encouraging people to come in and get mammograms, that it's painless and easy. And thanks too for being on the forefront, for bringing the new technology to our community that's so important to all of us.
We're really excited.
Absolutely,
to get
yeah, we can't wait to get it.
Well, I hope the training's in Hawaii.
Unfortunately, it is not.
Darn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Thank you
thank you
both
so
for
much
being
for
here.
having us.
I'll be right back with some information about Art in the Loft following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, my last two guests are both from Art in the Loft, a true jewel in our community. I have Justin Christensen Cooper and Molly Stepanski. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here and
Yeah.
talking about that wonderful jewel in our community. We don't have enough time to go through all of the events that you
much
have
time
there,
we got? I know.
that you have there all the time. But we do want to focus on one very important event coming
Right.
up. It's your major fundraiser for the year.
You got it. And it's something that really does help sustain us. So we are kicking off our 18th year. And we always do that with our fundraiser because that gives us the funds, those operational funds we need to do our programming coming into 2019. So it's our annual fundraiser. A lot of people know it by a different title, Glamour and Gourmet.
Yes.
So it's not titled that, but so it's a little bit different feel. It's got some of our favorite parts of what Glamour and Gourmet used to be, but it's called Hot Time in the City, and it's an evening of tapas, which are small plates,
Yes.
tunes, and red hot art. And so it's everything that we need to have a good time. That's for sure.
Well, and as the first guest was here earlier, and she was talking about the atmosphere. I mean,
Yeah.
going into Art in the Loft, walking up there, smelling the history, seeing the
Right.
artwork, just the atmosphere lends itself to a good time.
Right. Yeah, we are so lucky to be in the space that we are at the center building because it does have that history to it. It used to be the old Montgomery Ward's department
Yes.
store. You still see the lines on the floor of that. So it really lends itself to be a creative space, and that's what we like to do on a regular day-to-day basis. But on this special day, we transform it into a night out in the town, and that's what we're kind of pinning this down as, something that people can come out and have a fun time with. We're really putting a focus on the color red for
Okay.
this because it is during, so we got inspiration from our juried art exhibit that's currently going
Okay.
on, titled by the same name, Red. And so those that show up, we want them to wear their best red attire, whether that's something formal or funky, I'm saying, that's up to them. They can interpret that. But when they do come up, we are going to be, and Molly will touch on this too, but we are going to have 6 local chefs
Wow.
serving tapas, all local to the area, so people will get full on the food, that's for sure. We're going to have live music by the Deanne Stepanski Jazz Trio. We'll be serenading us that night with a little funky jazz. And then we're going to have the red artwork to look at during the night, but then what really brings it home are our mobile bidding silent auctions and our live auction packages that really they're so unique. Our committee did a wonderful job this year of getting items that you can't go to a store and get or get on Google or the phone or whatever to try to get. These are things that really you have to purchase a ticket to the event to be a part of and see.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
we better say what the date is.
Yeah, so it's November 8th. Oh my gosh, I know. November 8th starts at 6 p.m. So that's just it's a short time away here.
Yes.
But tickets are available now. In fact, we're already selling them. And another different thing this year is the tickets are limited to 100. And so time is of the essence if people do want to do that. And so you can go on our website, artintheloft.org, to purchase those.
Okay, tell me about the food.
Yeah.
So the reason I get the benefit of being a part of this, I work for an organization called Taste the Local Difference, and so we're constantly trying to match up Michigan farmers with businesses that want to source locally. And one of the things that we do is we certify events as certified local food events. And so what that essentially means is that I'm working with all 6 of the chefs, and at least 20% of the tapas that they're making for this event will be sourced from Michigan growers and producers. And so it's not only an amazing night because it raises money for Art in the Loft, but it also gives back to the local economy. So we're really excited about the fact that they've decided to move forward with that.
So tell me who the 6 chefs are.
Well, we have 5 right now.
Okay.
There's like 3 or 4 vying for that last spot. And so that's the tough
yes.
thing. So the 5 of the 6 are solidified at this point.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. We'll know the 6th one by the end of today. But as it stands right now, we've got Eric Peterson from The Fresh Palette. We've got Kevin Peterson from As You Wish. We've got Brandon Chin and Grace Reamer, and they are from the Unlucky Cat Cafe.
Okay.
New to town,
New to town.
Yes.
Ryan Bernard, who is a chef over at the Courtyard.
Yes.
And we are also working with Ben Darga.
Okay.
And he is also a new sort of food truck in town, 5 Bad Hens.
Right.
So a
Wonderful.
really
It's going to be
eclectic.
an eclectic group.
Yes,
It's going to be
we're so excited.
right. So as you enjoy the gallery space and the live music, and you're bidding on amazing items, and you hit our specialty cocktail bar that night too, you're going to go to these 6 different stations that'll have cool lighting features on them, and again, all part of the atmosphere. But you'll be tasting some delicious locally sourced and locally made food. So.
Okay, and how much are tickets?
So they're $75 for a
Okay.
general admission. Again, we were in the theme of a fundraiser, but what that gets you is your way in, your opportunity to bid, the 6 tapas, and then there's an elite package ticket too. For $100, you can actually upgrade, and you get 2 beads for a heads and tails game, we call it.
Okay.
And there's a great raffle. If you win that, you get a spa for 3 at Donovan's Wellness Center, which is amazing. And then it gets you also $20 worth of bar tickets too. So it's a really good deal if you want to do it like that. So like I said, there's only 100 tickets available for this.
And do you have all your sponsorships locked in already?
You know what, we do. Our sponsorship campaign for the year is over, but what we're doing is already preparing for next year. And so those businesses, if any business out there, or even members, individual donors, want to get involved somehow. Because I will mention before we're done here is that majority of those funds that we raise that night are going to be going to our newly branded, we've never had it before, but it's going to be the Art in the Loft Scholarship Program.
Wow.
And so we've never had that. We have all these classes that we offer, and those cost money because we have to pay instructors or get supplies.
Sure.
And we just know there's a market out there that we're not tapping into, and we know for those that either can't afford it or just can't be a part of it, and so they can get into this new scholarship program.
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
you know, I think of the artists who first had their start at Art in the Loft, who now own their own businesses downtown,
Right.
or are selling art,
Yep.
around Michigan on their websites, and the kids classes that you have where the kids come in and learn appreciation for arts and get started so that they're, you know, they're benevolent in our community and they realize the importance of arts in a community. I think it's a
Exactly.
wonderful thing.
Thank you.
All right, so everybody's going to come. We're going to have a great time. Where can we get our tickets?
So artintheloft.org is your
Okay.
mainstay, because you could purchase right online, and you can put your name and payment all online, or you could stop up in the gallery. We're
Okay.
there Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6.
Okay.
You can buy one up there. But also follow our Facebook event page. So if
Okay.
you just search Hot Time in the City, we're putting daily updates on there of all the package items. We're going to be doing some chef bios soon.
Yes.
And so we want people to start following that too.
And Molly, thinking about, you know, all that wonderful food with those chefs, you know they're going to be competing against each other, so you know that it's going to be
You got it.
pretty marvelous.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Yeah, it's
yes.
gonna be
And there's
fun.
actually, it's a competition with
Nice segue.
prizes.
Yeah, there is.
Ooh.
So the winning chef restaurant gets $500, and then they also get mention in an ad next year in our guide to local food in northern Michigan.
Yeah.
So it's
So
a
they're-
sort of a win-win for everybody.
So it's bragging rights plus a little cash in their pocket and some awesome promotion. So.
Good. Well, thank you both very
Thank
much
you.
for being
Thank
here,
you.
and congratulations on all of your hard work and everything that you do
Appreciate
to
that.
keep Art in the Loft the wonderful, viable entity that it is in our community.
Yes, thank you. We think it's important too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. Nick.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College. We're going to do something a little different this morning. We have a video clip from C-SPAN that references Senator Gary Peters talking about some topics that are pertinent to Alpena and Alpena Community College. So enjoy the clip, and we'll see you again next week.
This bill makes critical investments in airport infrastructure. It promotes U.S. competition and leadership in aviation, increases safety in the national airspace system, and strengthens consumer service practices across the commercial aviation sector. The legislation also delivers very strong support to rural communities in Michigan and across the nation by continuing the Essential Air Service, or EAS, program. This program drives economic development and tourism while also connecting local residents to world-class health care. I will never stop fighting to ensure that Michigan's EAS airports, from Muskegon to Houghton Hancock to Alpena, get the funding that they need to continue to serve their communities. And in addition to driving sustained investment in rural communities, I support this long-term reauthorization because it gave me an opportunity to address a number of challenges that are facing our country. This bill includes provisions that I authored that will help prepare our students for the high-tech jobs of today and of tomorrow, secure public spaces in our airports, and remove the outdated federal requirements that airports use firefighting foams containing fluorinated chemicals that contaminate groundwater and are causing disastrous human health effects across the country. The FAA reauthorization of 2018 will improve the competitiveness of our nation's workforce by clearing the way for our students and educators to use unmanned aircraft systems, or UAS, for research, education, and for job training. Whether this technology is used for inspecting critical infrastructure or boosting crop yields at our farms, UAS technology will create tens of thousands of new jobs in the coming years, and we need American students and workers ready to take advantage of that. This is why I've worked across the aisle with Senator Moran to introduce the Higher Education Unmanned Air Systems Modernization Act and include it in this long-term FAA bill. This provision has the support of the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities, the Association of American Universities, and dozens of other colleges and universities all across our nation. Our brightest minds will have the ability to design, refine, and fly UAS to prepare our country for the safe integration of UAS into our national aerospace system. In my home state of Michigan, Alpena Community College has created a UAS pilot training program that complements existing certificate programs like the Utility Technology Certificate, and therefore make their graduates even more competitive. This will support job creation across the income spectrum, as our nation's workforce will be able to get the training that they need to operate these systems both safely and efficiently. Ultimately, whether we're talking about UAS, passenger planes in the air, or travelers making their way through the airport, this is all about safety. In recent years, we have seen high-profile attacks at airports around the world, but also in places like Flint, Michigan. These attacks have demonstrated the vulnerabilities of heavily trafficked public areas outside of security screening, such as baggage claim and pickup and drop-off areas. I heard from our international airport in Detroit and others across the country that current airport funding streams cannot be used for security projects in these public spaces. Their need for greater flexibility for airport infrastructure improvements led me and my colleague Senator Gardner to introduce a bipartisan Secure Airport Public Spaces Act. This legislation would increase safety and security for airport passengers and visitors outside of the TSA screening areas. A critical provision of our bill was incorporated into this reauthorization bill that will now allow airports to use Airport Improvement Program funds on state-of-the-art surveillance cameras in these public areas, which will help monitor, prevent, and respond to potential attacks at airports across our nation. And finally, I'd like to discuss what could be our nation's defining public health challenge for generations: a group of harmful chemicals known as PFAS. The PFAS class is a group of over 4,700 man-made chemicals that have been used nationwide and internationally. These chemicals do not break down in the human body or in the environment, and they can accumulate over time and cause a great deal of harm. We already know that there are several health effects associated with exposure to certain PFAS, and just a few examples include compromised immune system function, cancers, endocrine disruption, and cognitive effects. I've listened to families exposed to PFAS in Michigan, but PFAS is not just a Michigan issue. We know that there are over 170 sites in 40 states that are contaminated with PFAS. PFAS are so pervasive that it is estimated that up to 110 million Americans could have these chemicals in their water. PFAS chemicals have been used for decades in a wide range of consumer products, including textiles, paper products, and cookware. In addition to all of these uses, Mr. President, they have also been used in firefighting foams for decades. These foams have been used on military bases and in our commercial airports. They have been used near businesses and neighborhoods, near groundwater and surface water, near lakes and streams. Last week, I worked with Senator Rand Paul to convene a hearing in our Federal Spending Oversight Subcommittee that addressed the federal government's role in PFAS. We heard firsthand about the impact of this public health crisis on community members, firefighters, and veterans. Not only have these foams containing PFAS been used for decades, we are still requiring their use at American airports, even as safe alternatives are now being developed and deployed abroad. While there's a lot of work to be done related to remediation, human health research, filter technology, and more, we must stop making this problem worse. And this is why I worked with Senators Sullivan, Stabenow, Rubio, Shaheen, Gillibrand, and Hassan to lead a common-sense addition to this FAA bill. Our bipartisan provision gives airports the option to use fluorine-free foams. And I also appreciate Congressman Kildee for leading this effort in the House of Representatives. Using fluorine-free foams is not a novel idea, but it is an idea whose time has come. Over 70 airports around the world are already using fluorine-free foams that have passed the most challenging of tests, and they have seen real success in combating fires. These airports include major international hubs such as Dubai, London Heathrow, Manchester, and Copenhagen. Every major airport in Australia has already made this transition. It is past time that we catch up. And I'm happy to say that this important legislation will finally allow American airports to embrace safe, innovative firefighting technologies and stop using fluorinated foams.
This has been Talk of the Town with your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at WBKB11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.